Oh, yeah. They try to shadow ban us, but we outrun clouds. So I don't know what I said or who reported me, but I can't go live on the gram no more. So we're gonna be doing some more YouTube. But while we doing YouTube, we're gonna start calling out the uneducated, those that are on here giving out false information, um, unchecked information. You know what I mean? But we also selling books. We selling books. That's what we do. We sell books. You feel me? So right now, you go to books by omidina.com. You get this good boy, Leopard Tales, right? You get this good boy, and then you can get this good boy. Part two to Taiwan Kayende. So I've watched and sat back and watched a lot of these people on these platforms, and I can, without arrogance or without uh, facetiousness, I can say that these people are culture vultures. Um, Culture vultures. So that means that you are a vulture. That means, what do vultures do? They circle and then they pick at what they want, and they take what they want and they leave other things behind. So there's this guy, he's from California, Oba Femi, and he be on Facebook, and he's got an Orisha Institute in Nigeria. And I heard him say how he's going to change E5 so that it works for the people in the diaspora. And it's like, why are you trying to reinvent the wheel? I don't know what rock you've been under for this long, but we already do that. And that is the behavior of a vulture. So that you circle around and then you dive down and you pick and get what you want to get. So now he's doing E5 with dream work. Like, come on, son. Feel me? What's good now is born. So, you know, and then you got the Baba E5 nigga, and he's telling stories in relationships to certain Orishas that are just not true. But that would be because he's really a convert, and he just started doing this a couple years ago. He has no business teaching anybody anything because he hasn't learned, right? Now, he may get a wind of this or whatever and feel whatever kind of way, but the proof is in the pudding. And don't get the peas mixed up. You know what I mean? And so you out here making up shit to your own specifications. That is what you are, the definition of a vulture. And then the other guy, like I said, he got this podcast, but I don't see no elders around you. Nobody that you interview has more than 20 plus years involved in this. Right? So you see these people and they pontificate. Feel me? They pontificate and they go on like they know what they're talking about, like they are the master. And this is all because of economics. These niggas can't get a job. They decided they weren't picked to do this. They decided they thought it was a hustle. Right? And so they're not gonna answer your phone calls when it gets complicated. When they don't got that spell in their book, they're not gonna answer their phone call for you. They're not gonna have an answer for you. Then you got the people. So there was this young lady who, if you follow me, you'll be able to keep up. She made Ocha in Nigeria, and it was all on television, right? And she used to have a big platform, and she was steadily running her mouth about how Lucumi was somehow subpar to Ishe. But her feminism ran into a brick wall, right? What is the discrepancy between Ifa and Orisha priests? There is no discrepancy. There is a discrepancy between Babalawos and Olorishas. The Babalawos are a compartment. They are a fraternity, a guild that exists within the Orisha culture. Orumila is nothing more than one of the 401 Irumales. He is not any better or any more equipped than any other deities or the other Orisha. But the problem is that Ifa has created a cadre of men who are pragmatic and do not feel anything. They do not get possessed. They've never been touched by spirit. And so their entire perspective is mechanical. It's mechanical and literal because Ifa has become a literal science. They read books. It's not passed on orally from one Babalawo to the next like it used to be. So you get a guy, and most of the guys that go into Ifa, a vast majority of them are unhumble. They refuse to prostrate on the floor before someone. And so they went on to Ifa because Ifa says you ain't got to salute nobody, you just touch the floor. And so for them, that is way more, their ego can stand that a little bit more. They cannot see themselves prostrating before women. The vast majority. Not all Babalawos. And not all Babalawos are bad. But when it comes to quantity, a vast majority of them are corrupt. They're corrupt and they are converts. So they come with an Abrahamic construct of religion and spirituality, and they apply that blueprint to Ifa because Ifa allows that, because there's no possession, and everything is, like I said, it's pretty much very pragmatic in nature. So you find a lot of the scholars find their way there. A lot of the scholars, a lot of the misogynists, a lot of the Muslims who went from Islam to Ifa because it was an easy transition culturally. Orumila is wonderful. Orumila is one of the greatest, but he is not Jesus Christ. And what you will see with the Ifa boys is that in every Aptataki, Orumila becomes the fucking protagonist. He's Superman all of a sudden. And you go, well, what happened to the other Orishas? And so as far as they're concerned, Orumila created everything. And so they use this phrase, Elerini Fin, witness to creation. But that don't say that he was the witness to the first creation. This could be witness to your creation. So they've taken that out of context. And so now they have this edict that they're going to save the world and mend the world, right? But they also have to take some responsibility and some of the guilt because you sold us over here. And the proof is in your absence in the diaspora. There are no ancient Ifa cults in the diaspora. There's no place in the diaspora where Ifa was settled and performed regularly. It did not show up in Cuba until 150 years after the Orisha people had already created the space and created the hierarchy of Regular de Ocha. Today, they become just charlatans because they spend a little 10,000, 20,000, whatever they spend to make Ifa. And then now they got their Ifa, and they don't, there's like, they're unscrupulous. They're like, go and teach. And you'd be like, okay, but this nigga don't know nothing. Feel me? He's an idiot. He just converted. He's got 5 years in the tradition. He don't know shit. Right? Then you got the shit that's going on in Cuba, where they got all these little boys. These little niggas can barely keep their fucking drawers from having skid marks, and these niggas is Babalawos. Who you gonna tell me? Nigga ain't never paid no rent before, man. Shut up. Get on out of here with that dumb shit, right? So I've become very critical of these things, and because of that, I've gained a reputation to be persona non grata, and I don't care because I didn't have any choice in any of this. I was born into this, and I will do this till the day I die. But back to the girl. Now that her feminist ways don't work in Ifa, now the Babalawos are misogynists, and now instead of going to get a consultation, you should go get therapy. Well, what the fuck are we doing here then? And see, that is the point. These people that want to be diviners and godparents and all of that are not equipped with dealing with human beings. They have no social skills. You are just to be a diviner, a proficient diviner. One is a pharmacist, a horticulturalist, a therapist. What else? A therapist, and that's, physical and mental, right? You become a counselor, all these different things. Now, if you can't manage your own shit, how you gonna manage everybody else's crazy? And if you ain't never dealt with crazy, how you gonna deal with crazy? Because, it's all good when you're on the other side of the glass, but when you're in the room with a crazy motherfucker, what you gonna do? And do you really, truly have any faith that can you make this thing do what it do? Most of them can't. So I'm laughing because the little girl is now, she went from the dreadlocks to a motherfucker, to a lace front. And I was like, whoa, what happened to Africa? It was all Africa. It was all good just a week ago, right? And now she's like, oh, you need to see therapists. And now it's all of the black talking points of the black female intellectual. Now you forgot about the Orishas. You forgot about Egun and all that, right? Because you had your little website and you were selling all your Shay Lakba shit. And then that shit didn't come out because now you can't be the chief. You wanted to be the chief. You tell everybody what to do. And them niggas was like, nah, baby, go sit down. Now you don't like that brand. So what I'm preparing you all for is the insurgence of things. So you're gonna get a whole bunch of these Shay Lakba niggas, and they're gonna be coming around looking to they're gonna try to come to Lucumi with their same status. Oh, well, I got 10 years. No, you don't. You gotta go through this thing. And some are gonna be reluctant, and some are gonna have to bend. The ones that are gonna be reluctant are gonna try to create their own thing. So now you're gonna get. So what you are preparing yourself to see is different denominations of Orisha tradition, and they're not based on history, circumstances. They will be based on convenience. Or we stop killing animals because we don't believe in that. That's not a part of our E5. Everyone is an elder because we don't believe in hierarchy. Right? So I'm telling them now, if you show up in my crib with a booba and a laba, you might as well go home. Because I don't associate wardrobe with spirituality. Because just because you put a cape on don't mean you can fly. So if you come to my crib and you look like you came out of the Shay Lakba, you're not coming in there because you're so Lucumi. And I'm not Lucumi because I chose. I'm Lucumi by heritage at this point. So it is very uncomfortable to watch the Babalawo dude on his podcast say some stupid shit. He said that Yemonja cut Ingle's tongue out because he slept with Oshun. This is not love and hip hop. In fact, the greatest love that Yemonja ever encountered was with Erinle. He's the only male Orisha, besides Obatala, who's put inside porcelain. And he's put inside porcelain to represent his bedside manner, that he's gentle, like a doctor should be. But the story is Ochedi, that Yemonja came across him and he was so handsome and she was smitten by him that she broke all her rules. And she took him deep down into her recesses of her kingdom and showed him all her secrets. But then time went by and she was conscious enough to understand that he had tasks to take care of and a place to go back to. But then her ego kicked in. And she was like, wait a minute. If he leave, he's the only one that's ever known where my stuff is at. And Erinle, in his humility, in his attentiveness, in his empathy, he understood. And so he cut his own tongue out and he offered it to Yemonja so that she would be secure that he would not tell her secrets. And so Yemonja let him go home. And she loved him so much, and she loved her sister so much, that when Oshun was despondent and did not have any company, she sent Erinle to keep her company. And so this is where Oshun and Yemonja meet, where the ocean meets the land, and it becomes the swamp, and the swamp cleans the water, and then it becomes a river that you and I can drink from. So that Erinle lives in the brackish water. He lives in between the salt water and the fresh water. And he's always there. And so when Yemonja cut his tongue out, he used his other ashe, which was the ability of what we call in the Western world telepathy. And with that telepathy, he was able to tell the different animals in the forest where to find water and where they should go and bury themselves. And he used that ashe to become the doctor, so that he can talk to your organs, because your organs talk. And because he's a telepath, he can tell you which one of the organs is suffering. And so he became the doctor. Not this bullshit that Joey said, that he was the man, and he was very rambunctious, and he just went and slept with Oshun. Like, what? And then Yemonja cut his tongue out. What are you talking about? It sounds crazy. And this is a guy who probably doesn't have Erinle. He probably don't have it. He don't know nothing about the ceremony. And I come from a place where you don't speak on what you haven't gone through. So if you've never received that Orisha, you should be not talking about it, because you don't have that ashe. It don't live in your house. And so you're not familiar with it. Look at that. So now, TikTok, I'm very, very convinced, is malinformation propaganda. Everybody that's on TikTok, the vast majority don't know what they talking about. Peace. What's good, Glenn? And so they don't know what they're talking about. And so they shouldn't really be speaking on anything. And in no other instance, and this is how you know that black people do not respect black things. Because they would never just read a book and tell you that they got a master's in philosophy. They would never do that. They would never read a book and tell you that they have a doctorate in art history. We'll never do that. But this is the only thing, this is the only tradition that people do not regard, that they think that because they got a 5-minute conversation from somebody, that they know what the orishas are. Okay? And so, you are going to see a bunch of people shuffling around. They don't know what to do. Because one thing that they had in mind didn't necessarily make up what they, you know what I mean? And so you're going to have a bunch of people scurrying to different traditions and all that kind of stuff. If you black and you don't speak Spanish and you don't have a liaison, somebody that speaks perfect Spanish and understands American culture, and they take you over there and you just go over there thinking that you're going to work it out with the Google Translator, you're going to get what you deserve. And that's the point. The point is, you require assistance. You require eldership. You can't just go on this journey by yourself. And I don't want, so like, to hell with all of you magical, mystical niggas. you just think that you could tap into something. You're a weirdo. And you should cut that out. Because you would not do that with any other science. Right? And so, TikTok, don't listen to none of them people on TikTok. I got a TikTok account. I don't use it. I go on my man's TikTok and just to start trouble, just to be fucking with them. Cause I be trolling on it, cause it's not serious. Ain't nobody serious on it. Everybody got their beads on. Niggas flicking cards. Niggas don't know what they doing. Everybody trying to reinvent the wheel. You know what I'm saying? And so, at this point, we're about to clam up. So like, if you're not down with Only Dinner Productions and you don't check in, you ain't gonna get this good work. This jewelry is about to be behind the case, behind the glass. Cause motherfuckers they don't respect it. They think it should be free. They think that I should just give it to them. Okay? So now that there's so much malinformation out there, this information that I have becomes way more valuable. It becomes way more valuable. And the crazy part is, niggas will look at these videos or they'll see my videos and off a phenotype or the way I look, they don't like me. I look like somebody that denied him something or whatever. And so you'll be looking at me like, oh, what does he think he knows? I don't know nothing. I've just been doing this all my life. And in contrast to my peers, all the kids that was born into some Ocha, that made Ocha when they was young, the niggas is not as ambitious about this as I am. I promise you that. They have not done or contributed as much things as I have to this tradition. So your godfather said you can't learn the divine. So my question is this. So I'm not gonna go in on the godparent because I don't know him, right? But you got 2 years. You want a divine, but do you know how to take out the parts of a chicken? See, because there's way more other things to do for you than you divining. And the other question is, in your Ita, did they foresee that? Did they tell you that you're supposed to be a diviner? And do you understand all of the occupational hazards to being a diviner? So they said yes. Okay. I don't know who your godparent is, so I'm not going to give them a bad grade because I don't know what their intentions are. At 2 years, I'll be honest with you, if you were my godchild at 2 years, I ain't fitting to show you no dillagoons. Because there's other shit that you need to learn how to do first. Right? There's other things. So like, for me to give you a class on dillagoon, you're gonna have to pray in front of me. And not with the paper. You're gonna have to pray. Do you know what this shit says? Do you know what you're saying? Because all that's important. Because that shit ain't gonna mean nothing. When you divining, everything is about your prayers. It's about your majuba. The bigger your majuba is, the more intricate it is, the more energy you pull to yourself. So that's the first thing. Can you throw Obi proficiently? You know what I'm saying? These are the things you gotta ask yourself. Can you take apart a chicken and do you know what parts go to the Ocha and what don't? Or do you understand what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you, and I don't mean to be a prick, but you don't know shit with 2 years. I'm very clear about that. You don't know nothing. And I know this because I got a head start because I'm around this shit all my life. So I be like I said, I go in the Ocha room. I orientate when I go in the Ocha room, and they be all these old bitches with these. Oh, I got 30 years and all that, and then I be like, here, and I put the coconuts in their hand. I be like, pray, and the bitch be like, with the blessings of health, wealth, and prosperity. And then in Spanish they be like, oh, bendición, mama, y papa, la marina. Be like, shut up. Fuck that stupid ass song out of here, you dummy. Right? And so what you don't want to do is be around a nigga like me, because I'm going to be on you like back pockets. Like, what you doing? You know what you're doing? And you can be like, yeah, let me see. Oh, no. No, give me that. Come sit down. Because we got to do this shit right. And so it's on-job training. So when you not doing this, you're supposed to be practicing. So that's what I'm saying. That's the only thing I'm saying. For me, at 2 years old, I ain't giving you no dealer going around. But what I will do is if I'm active, even if I'll go in, because I'm not one of them dudes that if I'm not orientating, I ain't fitting to put my hands in the palm of God. I'm a Santero. I'm always a Santero. So if you need me to come in and some other niggas doing the orientate, I ain't got shit to say. You hire them. Feel me? Unless he do some off the wall shit, I'm gonna be like, yo, ho, bro. I'm gonna ask the person, like, you pay this nigga? Are you cool with this? If you are, then we mind my business. Cross my name out this month. You have this money back. I'm going home. Feel me? I don't give a fuck. I'm not saving face for nobody. I gotta look them Mauritian in the face when I come in my crib. I can't ask them niggas for nothing and I watch you just butcher some shit up. I'm not finna do that. So, if you my godchild, we gonna go work some Ocha. You gonna learn how to pluck some chicken. I take the motherfucking skin off the feet of the chicken. You think that shit is easy? Then you gotta learn the different parts, all of the things that go to what they call aches. These are the things that the Orishas eat, right? You know how to procure those things, and then after you learn how to do ache de pluma, then you pay attention and watch somebody or somebody have someone show you how to take ache de cuatro patas, how to take aches of 4 legs. And when you can do that, then after you move from that, then I'll be like, can you know how to take the crosses out the heads? And this is step by step, because these are tasks that people will compensate you for and that they need done, right? The divining, you running off to go have godchildren and you don't know how to pluck a chicken or run the kitchen, my nigga, you useless. And so some of the mundane things be the most important things. If you can't run that kitchen in the Ocha, you don't deserve to make no Ocha. Straight like that. If you can't feed the Ocha, don't make no Ocha. I don't care you paying somebody to do it, you better know how to do that shit. You better know how to do it. Feel me? And so, before getting to some little goons, man, learn how to open a coconut. That shit is the worst. Motherfuckers will go in there and be like, yo, make some Obi. And they could be like, and this nigga would be destroyed. 5 coconuts trying to get one motherfucking thing of Obi. Like, come on, son. Give me that. And there's some godparents out there, they still can't open a fucking coconut, you know what I'm saying, conveniently. So I'll be like, yeah, okay, you talk it like, but you don't walk it like that. You know what I mean? And so, and I come from, my godmother is proficient. She don't need you to do nothing. If she could, she'd make the Ocha Oriate and motherfucking be the cook, because she know how to do all that shit. You know, but she pay out to the, you know what I'm saying, the different tasks, but she know that shit from soup to nuts. There ain't nothing in that Ocha room that she's not clear on where it go or where it came from. And so if you're not learning these things, so like once you make Ocha and then you get presented to the room, the next thing you gotta learn is how to take care of that table. And there's a table in the Ocha room that's mad important, and everything that's on that shit has an order to it. And you need to know it. Right? Because the worst thing again is to come to a Santero's house or Orisha's house and them niggas don't got shit together. You got wine? Oh, hold on. Get some wine. Then the nigga gotta find this and find that. The table already supposed to be prepared. And it's so sacred that there's a white sheet on the table every time. All those accoutrements go to, that table is sacred in the Ocha room. And so you have to learn that, right? And before you get the divining for somebody, you need to learn your Odu. How real is that shit? You need to know your Ita. See, because that's the other thing. Nigga be talking shit, and I be like, what you got? What Odu you got in this Orisha? Nigga be like, hold on, I gotta look at my book. Fuck out of here. Yeah, beat it. Beat it. So you have to learn your Odu before you can even cast Odu for somebody else to give them advice. Because you don't know the Odu. And that takes time because the Odu is not just, they're not Orisha, but they are their own thing. They are their own entities. And they have characteristics and they have genders and they have dispositions about them. And so before you get to that, you're going to have to learn how to necessarily, because just learning the Odu, do you know the gesture to it? And see, this is the shit that these bozos, they're not even inferring to people. You have to know that this entity that you drop when you cast either Dilagoons or whatever divination thing that you're doing, that an entity exists. It appears. How do you placate it? Do you know how to salute it? Do you know what gestures to make the Odu calm down? Do you know how to what Oriki to sing to it to make it reveal itself? See, because all them books, you can read that red book and all that. I promise you, and I've had this, I've thrown the same Odu for 6 people in the same day, and not one of those readings was the same. None of them was the same. Same Odu. Bing, Oche Bada. 5 people came in my house. One after another, they all had Oche Bada. And they was all night. Some of them wasn't even there at the same time. Motherfuckers was coming and going. And everyone that sat down had Oche Bada, and every conversation was different. This is when you listen to the Willie nigga in them, and they tell you that spiritualism ain't a part of this. They lying. Because the pragmaticism of the shit ain't enough. It's enough for you to try to figure out and practice, but it ain't enough for you to tell me what the fuck is going on. Proof is in the pudding. I got the interview with John Mason. He talked about when the man did it both for his mother. He said his godfather threw that shit. He said till this day he don't know how the fuck he got that conversation out of that old dude. The nigga told him some shit that he didn't even know his mama had went through. He was looking at his mother like, his godfather was like, right? And she was like, yup. He was like, till this day he don't know how the fuck he got that conversation out that old dude. So, I mean, take it easy. You gotta watch and see some shit. You have to have gone and sat in Ita. You have to have sat in Ita, not as an Oriate, but just as an observer, as a spectator, and see them tell somebody some shit, and then give you a couple of years and see whether or not that shit happened or not. Because every Ocha I scraped. Whatever was said on that mat, that shit happened as soon as. And that's not because it's because of how I was built. It's because of my makers. Feel me? And so a large majority of the people I see that be out here running around doing all this shit be solo dolo. Niggas ain't got nobody with them. Niggas just reading books and going to seminars. They ain't gonna help you. They ain't gonna help you. I had a godson in my house, come in my house, and the nigga got possessed with a white hillbilly. And I knew he was really possessed because the stuff that I was going to use to clean that shit off of him, that shit was in the cut. He couldn't see that shit. The nigga said, yo, what's that stuff over there for? I said, what you talking about? He said, that stuff. I said, my nigga, it's for you. He said, it ain't for me. The nigga started getting possessed. I put motherfucking herbs on top of that nigga's head. That nigga turned into a white man. He was like, you fucking niggas, get up. He was looking at this nigga like, what is this? Put that nigga under the sheet, that nigga turned into somebody else. That shit ain't in the book. I promise you, me and that nigga was about to get into a machete fight in my crib. Like, son, you don't put that shit down, I'm gonna chop you the fuck down. You like, no, that's mine. So I'm like, that's not your shit. We about to chop each other the fuck up with the machete. The dead man like, leave him alone. I'm like, what? He's like, man, let that nigga go. Get him out of here. Took his clothes, put it on top of the stuff. He left. Him and his brother was in the car fighting the whole time. I'm talking about for real, not like no love tap. Them niggas trying to bust each other's head open. One driving, the other one in the back seat fighting with the other nigga. I did my shit. Eventually the spirit got up off him. Right? So I tell you that story, but then I gotta tell you the bad parts of the story. That the one that paid to get the other one straight, them niggas came to my crib one day to get that rogation. And they was trying to be in and out. And it was a lot, because it's two of them. I'm doing the shit by myself, so I'm doing rogation. And I finish, and I feel something, but I don't know what it is. And the other twin, when they leaving out, the other twin like, yo, oh, I love you, man. You always hook me up. And he hugs me. And that's the last time I see that nigga. 2 weeks later, his brother called me crying and sobbing, talking about they killed my brother. I live with that. I didn't do anything wrong. All of the OB, everything, nothing. There was no signs that he was going to die, nothing. But I felt something. And I still feel responsible for that. Now, it may not have been my fault, of course not. But it's an occupational hazard. It's going to come with the job. So you ready to bury somebody when you didn't catch it? Ready to look their family in the face? Because his brother's still checking with me. And he just went and got baptized in the church. I ain't got no feelings about that. That's what we need, because he's over there doing what he's doing. I'm in another state. He don't have access to me. You know what I mean? And he's a wild boy. So, my family, Funo Lofi, it was La Iglesia, has the La Fuerza, has the force to, you know what I'm saying? Let him go do that. And after he did the motherfucking thing, he called me. Oh, yo, I got baptized. I said, I know, I saw you. He said, yo, man, I felt good. You know what I mean? I still come and fuck with you, blah, blah, blah. But the bottom line is, are you ready to deal with the occupational hazards that come with this shit? Are you willing to deal with the occupational hazards that come with this? This shit is not just so that. This is a clinic at this point. And if I know someone that does it better than I do, then I'm going to send you there. I'm going to send you there. Like a doctor gives a referral. I'm a doctor, yeah. I might have been in a couple surgeries, but I'm not a surgeon, and I need a surgeon to come and do this. I need the money. Fuck the money. This shit ain't never made no money. It make the niggas that make rich are the niggas who die fucked up. I promise you that. I promise you that. Nigga be out in the pool and the fucking whole motherfucking museum shit for the Ocha, and he be charging $1 gazillion. He got 1,001 godchildren and all that. And there's something that nigga cannot taste. There's something that they took from him. They're like, let me get that. And there's a hole in his heart, or her heart. And they just running around, and then they can never get comfortable. Because they gave up a certain part for all of this material shit. The material is not, you want access. Peace. You want access. My wife will tell you, I told her, I don't need to be wealthy. I just need to be able to go where I want to go. I don't gotta go first class. I can get a ticket. I can get there. All right, we'll go. I don't gotta stay in the Radisson or whatever. I stay in a little joint. All right, where the people at? All right, let me see how this shit is. Cause I don't go to other countries to stun on the motherfucking natives and tell them niggas how they poor. I don't do that. I'm gonna go fuck with them. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go fuck with them. Like, yo, my nigga, what beach I could really go to and have a good time? You know, not go over it. All right, good looking. Right? And I'm not gonna do nothing or show nothing that make any one of the niggas feel like I'm coming over there stunting on them. But I don't need a Lambo. If you have it, and it won't break you, it's not gonna stop nothing else. Sure. If you got it like that, but I don't need it. Excuse me, I don't need it. I'm gonna eat where the food is good, not where it's expensive. I'm just practical like that. You know what I mean? My father was born in 1939. He comes from a different era, so the nigga, you know, he's not a depression baby, but he comes from after that. And so the niggas, they know how to live frugally. And so you get to understand where your bread is buttered at. I know where my bread is buttered at. My fedefun egu, my fedefun ocha. I don't get up every morning and go to nobody's plantation and fight in traffic to get there. I don't do that. I've been blessed to be able to make a transition in my life, to be able to do things to take care of myself. I write books. That's where my shit comes from. I write books and I take care of my people. When one of my people said, we work something out that should take care of the bills. I don't need your fucking money. I promise you that. I don't need it. And understand that the higher I charge for something, the more you know I don't want to be bothered with that shit. Straight up. I'll tell you some crazy shit. Oh man, it costs $5,000 to get scratched by me. You know that I ain't trying to fuck with you. Feel me? And the money might not make me, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been there before. And listen to niggas like, it'll be alright. Oh, okay. And it wasn't alright. So, I'm just saying, it's up to y'all to maintain the integrity. And why I say that is that you can't patronize the bullshit. It enables them. It enables them. So that realistically, anybody under 30 that don't got, if they 30 and they don't got 20 years, you can't really tell what the fuck they talking about, because this is not their culture. And so I'm telling you to be very careful of those who have converted being fanatical and trying to tell you something. This nigga converted, they don't know what he just got here. Now, I be going in on the Ishe shit, absolutely. Cause that shit. So let me tell you, I'm gonna give y'all the history real quick. When they first came here, when the people first started going to Nigeria to make Ocha, there was no real way for you to make it. Because their system was not invented nor created to accommodate transients, strangers. This is a family thing. So what you understand is it takes 3 families to make a clan and 3 clans to make a tribe. So this is a family thing to them. So the idea of initiating a Alejo was not in their lexicon. So by way of bartering or haggling, okay. And so now they start to give the shit out to people. Then some people don't like the Spanish in Lucumi. If they want the African, and so they circumvent that and go to Africa, and they make Ifa and whatever Risha over there, and then they come back and then they want to come in the Lucumi ceremonies with these badges of honor, and they're like, nah, you didn't do the same thing. And so that's caused a problem. And to be honest, the vast majority of the people that went traditional at that time, or what they were calling it, were usually scholastic people, people who were involved in some sort of educational, you know what I mean, circumstances. So when these people come back, they don't have a real foundation, because everybody got a different experience. They all didn't go to the same place, and in different places they do different things. So now they can't have a continuity because there's no likeness in what they went through. Some niggas get their head shaved, some niggas did. So now, somewhere around the late 90s, maybe like early 2000s, they came up with this Ijo thing. So they was going around to all the diasporic shit and trying to incorporate themselves under this idea of the Ijo, Ijo Orisha. But that didn't work. So the Babalaos needed a way to centralize all of this. And so they became the religion, all of the religion became Ifa. At the same time, they start to accommodate the idea of Iyanifa. And so the Babalaos started to go from shrine to shrine, and from different states, getting the different shrines to submit to the organization of Isheshe Lagba. But Isheshe means work, it don't mean tradition. The word Sheshe in Yoruba means work. They put the E in front of it like they put Ibaye, Ijuba, Irumole. So they put Isheshe, holy work. It don't mean traditional. So every time somebody get on the thing and they got their lagba on and all that, whether they're Nigerian or not, and they tell you, oh, it means tradition, they are lying to you, because that's not etymologically what that means. The Yoruba word for work is sheshe or shishe. So what you are experiencing is a marketing scheme. Because they didn't have nothing to call it before that. And the tradition is not Ifa, because Ifa don't come before Dilagoon. They can talk about that's in their Aptataki. In their Aptataki, it said that he didn't get no Dilagoons because Obatala buried him from the waist down. So Ifa was an invention. And Ifa is the action. It is the action of scraping. That is what is happening. The tradition. So Orumila is not Ifa. Orumila is Orumila. He is the Orisha. He is the patron Orisha of Ifa. So that's the thing. There was no codification in Yoruba land, because from town and province to province and from temple and compound to compound, they have different customs. And so Isheshe was a way to try to like make it all one, but they don't have the same rules. So Regla de Ocha says that the Nago people have to go through these ceremonies to be a legitimate Olorisha. For you to get what they call Kariocha, you have to have gone through these steps. So in Kariocha, you have to have gone through the steps of having your Alagbatori taken out, your guardian Orisha. What Orisha is you going to crown? Having what they call Ebo Entrada, Ebo Koya, when you go in preparing you go to the river, and from the river, you come home and you make Ocha, Kariocha the next day. And you got certain things that have to be done within that ceremony. And at the end of that, they have to have a matanza, which is what they call the ashegun, the killing. And after that, the day after that is the ita. Itamale. And that Itamale, all the Orishas that ate 4 legs will speak on behalf of you through their dilogue. So Omidina is the name of my dead mother. Is the name, her ritual name was Omidina, fire and water. She had Yemonja made. So Regla de Ocha, you have to have these things that have to happen for it to be Regla de Ocha. Outside of Regla de Ocha, there is Regla de Ijesa. There's Regla de Arara. There's Regla Palomonte. There's Regla Kimbisa. There's Regla Briumba. Regla is the rule. You gotta hold it?
Nah, I think it's just some fucking,
the bullshit blunts.
Nah, the ropes is...
Oh. Well, you better ask me questions now. That's usually secretary.
I ain't trying that shit out.
Oh, you can put it in the mic.
This one's sweet.
Yeah, so I'm not on IG no more. Like I'm about to shut that account down. They won't let me go live. I don't know why. You know what I mean? Where you fucking at? Oh. You gonna put it back together? So, what you was wondering? Ekun 7, not Omidina. I'm gonna keep Omidina up. I'm about to get rid of Ekun 7. Then that won't let me go live on either one of them, but he's a legend. Nah. You gotta hit the Cash App. The Cash App is money sign slaughter with love. Omidina, put the thing up there. Where's she at? The moderator gonna put it up there. Who's not born on the culture to be made aware of? See, that's the thing. You gotta go and you gotta submit to Shaolin. Right? And you don't go with the ideal that you and this person are gonna be. You're gonna have conflict with this person. You're gonna bump heads, but you have to be confident that this person has your best interests, right? And that relationship grows over time. And so you have to commit yourself. And so, like I said, it really is like Shaolin. So because of my lifestyle. So
that won't hit better, right?
Huh? Yeah. So my lifestyle didn't allow, right? Oh, he's acting crazy. Get him out of here. He talking. What? Oh, no. No, son, you're bugging. You tripping. You gotta get out of here. You talking too spicy. I don't want that shit. Matter of fact, man, knock yourself out. I don't give a fuck what you do. Do what you do with them. You can't do it no more. I don't care. Don't try to do it to me. what I was saying is my young adult years being castigated as a criminal, right? And it gave me time to be around people and not have I had nowhere to be. So I could go sit in somebody's house and wait all day for them to, you know what I'm saying, for them to get a phone call or something to happen, or them to just decide to tell me something. And so I made myself useful. You feel me? I made myself useful. And so being useful, they could use me to go to the store, they could use me to hold a goat, they could use me to help skin something, right? And I put forth my time, right? And I put the sacrifice in traveling all over the fucking place trying to get to these people, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm not afraid of the negativity. It's all good. Feel me? Like, that shit is all right with me. I promise you. Like, I'm not your average Care Bear. At all. Whatever you think it is, it ain't that. Whatever you think I am, you probably, and I have the old dudes to support it. My old dudes talk about you don't know who the fuck I am. And you'll never learn. I done lived 10 lives before you come outside. Trust and believe that. Trust and believe that. I ain't got to tell you, I ain't got to beat on my chest, I promise you. Right? Exactly, and you can't learn from the book. And so you have to have had someone that sees the potential in you and sees, because the other part is, I be afraid to teach a motherfucker because I ain't teaching you to go off and create no new age shit. Now you take what I taught you, now you incorporating it with the crystals, and then you taking it into the fucking the pyramids. I don't want to hear that shit. Feel me?
The last one's a good question.
How to incorporate a glass of water and a candle if you're not have stable housing. So water is the conduit. The glass is the vehicle or the receptacle. So it's really about the water. And the water, so now because science has now caught up to us, right? You gotta understand that water has memory. So my elder used to talk about they used to take a glass of water and pray over it. And after they pray over it, they tell you to drink it. Right? Because they are telling the water what to do when it gets inside you and how to placate or subside whatever anxiety or whatever it is that is attacking you, right? From within. And so the idea is that even if you're someplace else, so you don't always, because I'm not talking from inexperience. I'm talking from couch surfing, right? So you get you a cup. If it's just a cup, a plastic cup, and put that cup of water at the foot of your bed, wherever you sleeping at, right? And so you put it at the foot of your bed, and you leave it there, and in the morning, you toss it out, right? And you give that as the watering hole for your spirits to come and congregate and help you assimilate to a better circumstance. You understand? So it's not about the altar. You are the altar. But when you have the time and the space. So I talk about that in the beginning of the book. The two sacrifices that you make first are time and space. You give these things that you do not have control over, but you can give freely. You don't have control over time nor space, right? On the floor. And so time and space, when you have the space, then you make the sacrifice to erect the altar. So if you're sleeping on somebody's couch, then you don't have the space. And so then you might just put a cup of water down next to the bed at the foot, right? And be mindful not to kick it over. And do that as a routine. Now once you get to a place where you have your own space, whether it's one room, then you dedicate one shelf, one corner to that idea of the spiritual you. So if your spirituality was like an exosuit, the altar is that. And now that you put it up, it is an indication of yourself. It is a mirror of yourself. When you see the water and it's dried up and it got rings around the motherfucking glasses, then you know that's what you feel like. When you see the shit and it's fresh and the glasses got bubbles and you can see clearly, it's transparent, right? There's no hidden agendas. This is why we don't use a glass that has some kind of design on it, unless the spirit specifically asks for such thing. Like, so I got these Chinese spirits that they want a glass with all these little flowers on it and shit, right? And that's how they manifest. They help me with organization in my life. They're the spirits that I allow in my bedroom. They come in my bed. I got an altar in my bedroom with my Chinese and my Hindu motherfuckers. And why? Because the Buddha slept. And so they're going to assist me and protect me in my sleep. Right? And so, but that's my way. And that took trial and error. It wasn't written on a piece of paper. It was going to those misas and hearing those old women and getting those little notes. They're like, yeah, you need to take care of the Chinese motherfuckers. You're like, what? And then my old girl was like, look, you're going to go to Confucius Square and you're going to make that bow. I'm like, oh, okay. And I went and made that bow at Confucius Square in Chinatown. Right? And when I did that, then my shit started to the point where my wife is part Chinese. Can't make this shit up. Right? So now I'm old enough that I can get the run, shore, karate, you know what I'm saying, ponytail now. Yeah, I'm karate man. Feel me? I got my motherfuckers, got my little bun like the niggas, like Five Deadly Venoms and shit. Don't play with me. Anyway, somebody asked about Edgila. Who asked about that? Edgila Shebora. It says it is better to drown than it is to burn. Right? It's better to drown than it is to burn. This is the Odu of exhaustion. It's an Odu of where fire takes place, where fire can be burning hidden in the walls, or a small fire can turn into an extreme fire very quickly, right? And it talks about exhaustion, and it talks about the madness in exhaustion. So to my sisters out there, yeah, don't ever argue with a sleeping man. I'll give you a scenario. So, Bob, we'll call him Bob. Bob, if he went to the diviner, he would have got Edgila, because Bob works. He's a truck driver, and then when he ain't driving trucks, he doing karate classes for kids, you know what I mean, for no money, and he got some other shit going on. He picking up his kids from other states. He doing a whole lot. But he got this crazy broad with him. And she swears that this nigga's cheating on her. And this nigga don't have the fucking energy to cheat on her. And that's the problem. That every time he come home, this nigga's so tired that she'd be like, I'm gonna put on something more comfortable. He'd be like, and she go in that room and the nigga fall asleep and he ain't waking up. Now she pissed because her ego fucking with her. So now she gonna go accuse him of he's cheating. And so now she want to ask about a phone number that might not even be about anything, but son is sleeping. And she's like, get up, you bitch ass nigga. And she pouring water on the nigga. He like, yo, please let me get some sleep. And she like, no, motherfucker, you gonna get out of here. And he just want to lay down and go to sleep. Because he might have been out late last night and been the one time he had it to himself and he was at the bar and he's drunk. And now he's tired and he got to get up to do this shit again. And she's beefing and wilding. And it gets to the point that at some point he just get up and he give her a good one. She hit her head on the side of the dresser. He go back to sleep. He wake up. She bleeding out. He going to jail for murder. He don't even know how he got in this situation. He just wanted some sleep. That's it, G-Line. It's better to drown than to burn. And they say that because when you drown, you die. If you burn, you don't know how long it takes for a human being to die when he burns. So, and G-Lock talks about you better not leave no fire running around the house. Don't be having a whole bunch of candles burning. Really, you're not supposed to have more than 2 or 3 candles burning in the house at one time. Because fire is a little girl that should never be left unattended. Because once she get to eating, she don't stop. Aina dake ke soro, aina osu mai mai. Aina dake ke soro, aina osu mai mai. Shango orisa, motimo, sawa orula sawa de. Aina dake un soro. Aina dake. Telling the fire to stop. Because when Shango get drunk, he start letting the lightning come down and the fire get to eating and then they don't know how to stop it. So they're asking the fire, please calm down. Dake. And so, a G-Lock says don't be smoking in the bed, don't be having nobody in the house that smoke, don't be putting no goddamn fucking water to boil on the stove and you sit down on the couch and fall asleep, you're gonna burn the house down. Because you're too tired. It says, if you got cords in the back of your couches and all that, you better take that shit from behind you because it's just gonna heat up, catch fire on the carpet, and you'll have a house fire. And G-Dot says, you got a broken ass fucking barbecue grill with propane and you playing with that shit. Stop playing with that shit because it's gonna fuck around and burn your dumb ass. That's it, G-Dot. Now mentally, it says that you have enemies in all directions. You have burnt every bridge possible and you got nowhere to go. You heard? And so you ain't gonna get no sleep because everybody thinking about you. That's it, G-Lock. Well, final destination is this period is just the ability of how you don't understand that death is all around you. Yeah, Trupon, they try to assimilate it to Ejila. So that Ejila Shebora, when it comes out, they have to burn a coal so that fire can exist and then be put out before it becomes phenomenal. Like I said, because fire is a little girl that should never be left unattended. So this is where when you have a G-Lot, if you have to burn a candle, you burn like a little tea candle on a plate with some water on it. If you put a 7-day candle, put it inside another bowl that has water, so if it cracks and it tips over, the water will put the fire out, right? And it warns the children playing with fire in your house. I had a G-Lot when I was like 9 years old, and I only know that because of the bows that I had to make. But now in G-Lot in Osogbo and Osogbo talks about Shango having a beef with you. Like he don't like you. You know, he gonna clean your shit up and he gonna humble you, right? And that it talks about children or like a grown person come and that Odu come in the first time for them, they usually have some type of scar or some kind of burn mark from when they were a child from some type of fire. Then somebody spilled some kind of water on them or grits or some shit like that on them. That Odu show up, right? And so they end up having to make Amalaila for Shango and put it on the roof. And if you live in a building, they tell you to put it on a fire escape or on the window. That's socketry right there. They can't tell you that in the class. I promise you that. Ejila Shebora, Agana Gaya, Agana Fire. What does it say? Abonu? Kimashete, Kuki Machete Ano, Kimashete Ofo, Kimashete Ano, Sobo Uno. Emanu, Emayo. Shango de Wano, Mohe Mofiye, Shango de Mono, Mohe Mofiye, Shango de Wano, Mohe Mofiye, Shango de Wano, Mohe Mofiye. Boruo, Akumambo Awo, Akumambo, Boruo, Akumambo Awo, Alafin Shekeda. That's Ejila Shebora. Adokun. Yeah, so if you looking for me on Instagram, I do not. We can't do that no more. They acting crazy. That shit is fascist. You know what I mean? You get a Bogota. Everybody get to know my grandmother, Roba. She been around lately. was her birthday on the 28th. Yeah, so the Bovida. The Bovida is the Voltron of spiritual connectivity. It's based on the elements: water, fire, earth, air. Glass of water, fire, a candle, air through prayer, breathing, song, earth through incense, flowers, colognes, Florida water. Those are 4 different elements that also coincide with your 4 senses: to see, smell, hear, and taste. Feeling is not a part of that. Okay? Feeling is not one of your senses. It is a perception. Right? It's not receiving, it's perceiving. Because one person's pain is another one's pleasure. So, feeling, and that's so, and they talk about that. The bartender sees it one way and the drunk sees it another. This is Oche Bada, when emotions and talk come into play. But that's the end of it. I'm giving y'all too much, and not enough country for that. So, the Bovida, these 4 elements: smell, hear, see, taste. You present this to the spiritual world as a tutorial to explain to them as a sign language of how they need to communicate with you by one of these 4 elements, so that you either see them, hear them, smell them, or dream them, right? Because your taste is associated with your dreams because you swallow in your sleep. And so that ability to swallow in your sleep, you do it in your dreams. So in your dreams, the spirits will come and bring messages. So by one of these 4 outlets, one of these 4 conduits, the spirit is corralled into a way to communicate to us. And then it deals with the 4 corners of the universe, right? And so it's Bovida, which in translation means a vault. And so the implications of that say that what do you do with a vault? You keep precious things in it. And what's more precious than your spirituality and your soul? So the Bovida is a construct that can be deconstructed at any given time. These pacts or agreements are made without blood. There is no ritual initiation other than participation, right? And so the only real initiation might be a bath, right? And so it is the poor man's greatest connection to God, because you can't speak to God because you exist within God. And so the idea of omnipotence bears us understanding that we do not, God don't exist within you, you exist within God. Because if a God is everywhere, then to say that God is not in someone else is to be blasphemous, because God is in all things. So that means that you're inside God, as a fish is inside the water. So understanding that the fish are influenced, but they're not made to do anything. They are influenced by the tide, right? By the current. And so the tide and the current could be associated to spirit and deity, where the tide is going to do what it's going to do, regardless of what your destination is. And the current comes and goes. And so the current only comes to influence you like the spirit does. The spirit can't make you do anything. It can possess, but it can't make you do anything. And so it has to be able to influence you. And so like a fish that's inside water, the fish doesn't know that the water is God to them because they're in it. But if you take the fish out, and now the absence of that God, they no longer exist. And so the same for mankind. You don't exist outside of God. There's no existence for you outside of God. So the more you submit to the understanding that God is indifferent to all of your shenanigans, what is not indifferent is that current. When it comes, it's going to come back around. So where you at when the current comes? Are you near the rocks? Or are you free to flow with the current? And that is spiritualism. Any diasporic Orisha temple that does not recognize spiritualism is junk. It's junk. Don't waste your time. If you get there and they're like, oh, we don't do that part, we just do the Ocha part, get out of there. Get the fuck out of there. Run. Run. If niggas start trying to sell you some Ocha, these Shay niggas cool. But they trying to change up the game too. Like I said, the Oba family nigga talking about, oh, I make E5 because E5 doesn't know what's going on in Detroit. Sound mad familiar, bruh. I've been saying that shit for years. I love how they be trying to get to my conversation and remix it. So anyway, don't listen to these bozos. If you want to do Isheshe Lakba, that's fine. I'm not telling you that you can't. But where you should do it? In Africa. See, understand that you want to get Kung Fu from Shaolin, you got to go over there. You're not going to get the Shaolin experience here in the city. Now, they got Shaolin temples, but that's the diaspora shit. That's the shit that they made so that you could stomach this, because them niggas ain't fitting to hit you in the head with no motherfucking bamboo pipe, and you get to bleeding and call the cops on them niggas. But when you go to Shaolin, you going to follow those rules. So my only thing is that all these people that like wearing African garb and doing all that shit, why the fuck you don't go over there? Understand that my connection to Cuba is not my love. It has to do with the people. My connection to Cuba is based on my godmother. My Ajabona lived there. I love that woman very, very much. And the people that fuck with her have become family over the years that I've been going over there. I do not wear guayaveras. I don't wear pointy shoes. And I don't wear Kangos. I don't act or attempt to be a Cuban. Because I'm not Cuban. I'm a black American from Brooklyn. I was born in, you know what I'm saying? So I don't try to adopt their cultural nuances and their motifs. That's not mine. That's not where I'm from. And I would be ingenuine to myself. Disingenuine. Like, yo, how the fuck you win? I start walking around with guayaveras. I said it. I'm not Cuban. I'm not trying to be Cuban. I'm a nigga from Gates Avenue. But I got Ocha and I've been had Ocha. And I know how this shit really works. The other niggas, they can tell you all they want to tell you. I'm telling you that shit dying in Cuba. My godfather and the nigga said, every time I go there, said, mira, la religión perdió. It's lost. So when I be telling niggas, yo son, I promise you I got the best jelly on the block. I ain't telling you to be, I'm telling you because I know. I done been to them other jelly factories and that shit ain't good over there. Real talk. I could tell, and I'm not shy from critiquing everybody. But when new niggas come in and want to change shit, hold up, son. You ain't even been in this shit long enough. You don't even know if this shit working or not, man. So calm the fuck down. You want to change how things do? Oh, we should be able to. Look, man. There's enough English-speaking people that you ain't got to go over there fucking with them Spanish niggas and not knowing what they're talking about. Hov did that, so hopefully you wouldn't have to go through that. Niggas be trying to go thinking that they're gonna go and get some shit that's more powerful. So I know some niggas be looking at me like, nigga, I'm gonna go to Cuba and go find the Godfather. And then they go over there and the niggas hit you in the head and you find out you got scratched by a gay nigga. You be like, what? Ha ha! How you like me now? How you like me now? So, I only be telling y'all, and you know that's the crazy part? Niggas be getting in their feelings with me and all kinds of shit. I ain't got to tell nobody none of this shit. I swear to God. I could have left niggas and let the Pied Piper take niggas right off the cliff. Niggas would have been right off the cliff. You're welcome. All them conscious, corny niggas, I promise you I changed that whole scenery. Them niggas will never speak my name. Them niggas act like I don't exist. And I'm looking for the fucking, I'm just talking about the soccer tree, my nigga. I got a bunch of books. You niggas running around here buying all these white people's books. I'm in this shit. That is the most frustrating thing about it. That's like, you want to know about the Bloods, but you gonna listen to some white lady that photographed us, but you ain't gonna come and interview the nigga that's really in the shit. His grandmother was one, his mama was one. Yeah, he throwing it up, but he could tell you what the history of the rag and all. Everything he telling you is straight up. But you gonna go fuck with the crackers. With the Pilgrim. Oh, let me buy the Pilgrim book. The Pilgrim book costs $200. This nigga ain't got no Ocha. He's selling you a book. Okay. So then I watch these niggas. I watched that bitch ass nigga Seti have a thing talking about Ogun versus Mars. Yo, my nigga, you got some nerve. Some nerve. Talking that stupid shit. Then you got Wesley Muhammad talking about Olodumare came from the Muslims. Man, pack him up. Like they say, pack him up. Go this way. What are you doing here? Huh? What the fuck is he talking about? All these niggas is Orisha crazy now. But I was talking about that shit how many years ago? And I was telling the niggas, now Bobby don't know what the fuck he talking about. Stop listening to that nigga. Him and Panic. Them niggas don't know what they talking about. Oh no, the brother Panic, he really be breaking it down. About what? So now the skirt is up. Because if you niggas talk about this Orisha shit the way you do, like, and I know you don't know what you're talking about, that means everything that you talk about is bullshit. If you niggas will talk about this Orisha shit like you've been doing it the way y'all do, that means that everything that you niggas was talking about before that is all bullshit. Because you niggas damn sure don't know what you're talking about with the Orisha shit. You don't know none of this shit. Yo, the black man is hilarious, man. Yo, yeah, niggas better understand that the world is laughing at niggas, man. For real, for real. I watched the niggas have this dude up there. This nigga was in the Indian position. This nigga was like, Ashe. This nigga was talking about the rhythms and the rhythm and this and that. Like, show and prove. Okay. So you say. So you say. So I'm very sure that all of them niggas in that fucking conscious shit is all full of shit. All of them niggas. None of them niggas know what they talking about. Because if they're talking about Orisha shit, and they don't, and I know, and I'm very clear, I'm not unsure. No, I'm very sure you don't know what you're talking about. I'm 1,000% sure you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So that means that, is that the same research y'all niggas did on Kemet? Is that the same research you niggas did on the Moors? Niggas talking about, I did the research. Niggas is real crazy, man. You niggas live in a world that's like that big, and you just bumping your head against the glass. What are you talking about? You don't know anything. I watched SETI, and I'm not tripping. I seen this shit on the thumbnail. I clicked on it. Ogun. Yeah, what they know about Ogun? I'm like, look at this asshole. This nigga was talking about Orisha. Then, like I said, that's a Muhammad nigga. And my man, one of my people, he be like, man, leave him alone. I'm like, nah, son. Nah, son. You gonna sit there and make some claim that Olodumare comes out of Arabic? Man, take your stupid yellow wafer ass on, dummy. I cannot take you seriously, my nigga. Again, I'm gonna give you the comparison. It's like me being in the Bloods and some nigga from Ohio telling me about how the blood started. Huh? So that means everything he telling me after that, I'm like, this nigga's suspicious, man. Get out of here. What are you talking about? That's your research? And then the fact that it took you niggas 15 years to get to that? It took SETI 15 years to talk about Orisha, Joe. The nerve of you fucking poo-putts. Oh my God. So, this is why, like I said, they put the cloud over my shit. I got the shadow on my joint on IG. I'm cool. I'm about to clam up anyway. You know, cast pearls before swine anyway. So fuck it. Shut my stupid ass up. Right? So I'm gonna do the YouTube. Now, if they shut this shit down, you niggas is out of luck. I'm gonna get the message. I'm gonna shut the fuck up and go to the hills, get me a fucking tent, get the fuck away from all this crazy shit. Cause you niggas is just going right to the motherfucking, to the gas chamber. Right to the gas chamber. So the young black men are running around here talking about fuck the streets and drop their flag. Somebody gotta challenge you to do that. Is there even a conversation about whether or not it's fuck the streets? No, my nigga, do you not grow up? They're not gonna heal the world with E5, not run like this. They're not gonna heal the world wherever everybody wearing some pants with no pockets and some funny hats and running around, calling each other Baba and EI. They ain't gonna fix shit. I'm very sure of that. I come from the original mamas and the babas. I promise you that. So here lies in, like I said, we sell books. This is what we sell. This is what we do. We sell books. Leopard Tales. Feel me? On books by Medina. Got the stories in there. You want to hear some more Aptataki? Then I got the boom boom. Bling bling. Whatever I'm trying to do, you said it bling bling. This part 2. If you not up on that Taupo Cayenne shit, man, on some LOG shit, step off. Cause you not riding with us. Well, God bless you. Shit. Yeah. Buy a book. This is the like all that other shit them niggas be doing, that shit, it don't have no substance to it. I looked at it. I like, what? It's just the blind leading the blind and shit. Not even one eye. Nigga blind leading the blind. JoJo got this many years of anything. He's on there with the podcast, running their mouths, and these niggas run botanicas. Oh my God. How is this possible? Yo, I blinked and my religion was different one day. I promise you. I blinked and my religion was different. I gotta hold on to customs, and that's what I'm gonna do. So, if you wanna hear some real shit, fuck with the KID. If you want them niggas to jerk you off or knock you down and don't give you no reach around, keep playing with them bozos. None of them is ever competent to do anything. Throw blows. Like, nah. Don't let these dudes be, and you gotta ask them, like, how old are you? Like, oh, what you mean? How old are you in Santo? 4. Like, 4? Nigga, what are you talking about? You gonna make my Ocha? You better get out of here. No. No. You heard? I'm in this. I don't know what that is. Oh, King Brujo. Oh my God. He went to Africa. I hope he stayed there. I hope a TT fly bite him and he gets sick and he shit himself to death. He could go to hell. He's a weasel. You heard? And you know, you gotta be able to see that. And even in yourself, you gotta do that bit. You gotta understand when you just being strange just to be odd. You know what I mean? Some niggas just be trying to be odd for no reason. He's the master with that. Yo, he got a crazy. He looks crazy. Anyway, yeah, I hope he stay over there too. I applaud him. He's talking all that. Take your ass on over there and go live. Feel me? Are you ready to offer some money? I know you touched on the girl. Feel me? I seen he was in Africa. And I was like, au revoir, pussycat. Take your stupid ass on over there. Yeah, then he got belligerent. I was like, yo, my nigga, where'd you get that from? Oh, I'm from the Caribbean. Have you seen his mother?
You see, like, actually, you ready for the blicky thing?
Oh. Yeah, Joseph, but that's the thing, that because the niggas, that's so this is the other thing I want all my black people, no disrespect to my, you know what I mean? But be careful of these Latino niggas that want to speak English to you now. Oh, now you want to teach us the religion? Kick rocks, Goldilocks. Beat it. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. So know that them niggas, the ones that speak English, are taking advantage of you all because they speak English. Be very careful of that. That they want to all of a sudden become culturally. Yo, let me tell you something. All that shit, when I see the Cubans, especially the white Cubans, when I see the white Cubans and I see the Mexicans and them niggas got agbadas on and the funny hats, I be like, you look like an idiot. And I can say that because when the African American Ocha community, the Lucumi community, when they got into this, they was all pro-black and they was on their Nigerian shit. They was coming to the bimbags with all that shit on. And the Cubans used to be laughing at them like, we just got that stupid shit on for us. So now to see them niggas all dressed up and they be the whitest ones. It could look like what? And this nigga got on the funny hat. They going all of them going over there to Nigeria. You look stupid. You know why? Because when you see black people over here, you clench your fucking purse. You can't be loving the Orisha and you call me a Mayate. That shit ain't gonna work. So that's why you see them on every video that they got on YouTube, they playing a bazillion drums and nobody's getting possessed because the Orishas are definitely not interested in whatever the fuck they talking about. Say what you want to. They could make 1,000 of them niggas, but that shit ain't gonna mean nothing because them niggas don't got no fucking soul to that shit. Straight like that. So when I see them and everybody got the Nigerian clothes on now, you look stupid. You look like a white person with a powdered wig and buckle shoes on or something. Feel me? That's what you look like. Oh, the sacrifice and the tiger. All of them need to go to hell. They should lock all of them niggas up and put them niggas in ADX for that dumb shit. What are you doing? Chango don't eat no tiger. What are they doing? And this is what I'm saying. Motherfuckers get something and have no respect for it. They have no regard. They're just gonna do what they want to do. Oh, let's kill a tiger. And so now you make it for the rest of us so that they could be like, oh, you niggas killing tigers? All right, we'll come lock all you stupid motherfuckers up. Because these dumb niggas is on camera killing the tiger. Where the fuck did you get the tiger from, first off? What did you think that you needed to kill the tiger and feed it to your Chango for? You're bugging. So, books by Omi Dina Productions. We got Glass of Water and a Candle. We got Kere Kere. It's only in English on my site for now. But if you want it in French or Spanish, you go to Amazon. We got the Rites of Passage of Taiwo and Kayende, Book 1, Enemy of Water, and now we got Book 2, Hidden Fire. If you're not up on that, you ain't talking about nothing. Especially all those quote-unquote black nerds and all the anime niggas. If y'all niggas don't get with this, don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't jump on the bus later on when this shit becomes turned into Harry Potter. I swear to God. I wrote the best story of this millennium. Promise you that. Promise you that. Because if you read book one, yeah, that's just a little taste. When you get to book 2, then it start really turning up. And book 3 is already done. I just got to sit down with the wife and we just got to put it in the thing. And that one, we're gonna let these stew for a minute. right? And this ain't like, oh, I'm on to something. You not, nah, this is the book that you're supposed to pass off to a motherfucker that you know gonna read it and appreciate it. Like, yo, my nigga, get with this. You heard? It is. It is that right now. First, one must go through the channels. So in order for something to truly be classic, it has to be written in the form of a book. And then you can turn it into graphic novel, cartoon, motion picture. But it has to have the integrity of the book first, right? So that most movies that people go see, they compare it to the book. Right? So you go to see Silence of the Lambs, if you read the book, you'd be like, nah, the movie was okay, but the book was better. Right? But that's how I want my shit to be. Right? And so we selling books, man. We not really trying to sell no, you know what I mean? If you want the readings and you're in the vicinity, you know how to get up with us, you know what I mean? Hit the thinger, you know what I'm saying? The executive, she will take care of that. Make sure that shit gets to me. If you know what I mean? If you in the area, you know what I mean, you gotta reach out and make an appointment and be careful of the hustle. Remember that. These is all niggas. Right? I don't give a fuck what color they came in. They got nigga in them. And niggas will book you. So watch these niggas. I've been telling y'all niggas this since Congo before Kemet. Be careful of the lady in the basement by herself. You feel me? So, you know, I'm giving y'all like the heads up. You know what I mean? The decision is yours. But, you know, when you swing back, I'm gonna know I'm gonna be like I told you so. Yeah? We out of here.